வணக்கம். இது வீரகேசரியின் சமகாலம் கருத்தாடற் களம். இன்றைய நிகழ்ச்சியில் எங்களுடன் இணைந்திருப்பவர் புதிய ஜனநாயக முன்னணியினுடைய கொழும்பு மாவட்ட வேட்பாளர் ரோசி சேனநாயக் அவர்கள். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி தமிழ் மொழியில் இருந்தாலும் கூட இந்த உரையாடல் நிச்சயமாக ஆங்கிலத்தில் தான் தொடரப்போகிறது. ஆகவே அடுத்து வருகின்ற உரையாடல்கள் முழுக்க ஆங்கிலத்தில் இருக்கும். அந்த வகையில் நாங்கள் அவருடன் தேர்தல் நிலைமைகள், அதே போல சமகால அரசியல் சூழல்கள், அவர்களுடைய கட்சியினுடைய திட்டங்கள் சம்பந்தமாக உரையாடுவதற்கு திட்டமிட்டிருக்கிறோம். வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
My first thing is, first of all, I would like to thank you accepting our invitations and visiting our studio amidst these election activities. Also, I warmly welcome to our program. My first question, it's regarding your leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, who secured the third place in the 2024 president election. With the parliament election approaching so soon, I think very short time, doesn't this present significant challenge for you?
It is a challenge because unfortunately the election is happening soon after the presidential election. I would have personally liked to have gone on the elephant symbol, the UMP, on its own without an alliance. In fact, several times me, Mr. Honorable Ruan Vijayawardhan, we all kept on saying that let's, ask for this election as the UMP with the elephant. But unfortunately, because Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe, the then president, decided to go as an independent candidate, and then he had an alliance supporting him. And also our symbol was the cylinder. So we didn't want to confuse the people also at the end.
Yes.
So there would have been confusion. Also the part of the alliance would have been so we decided, okay, it was too soon. So since it was too soon to mobilize people, to mobilize the party, to get things going would have been difficult. So we decided to go with the alliance. So I am contesting from the UMP. I am a die-hard UMP. And I'm hoping that every UMP member will give me a vote.
I think in the last time the SJB also offered to me, but you rejected. We
Yes.
heard that news as well.
Yes. So for me, I just want the UMP to come back strongly. Like you said, I think it is time that we revamp this strong party that has done immense work for the country. When we talk about free education, free health, basically the reservoirs, the agriculture that the party has done. I think the United National Party is a very strong party. We have some strong members on the ground, new members on the ground, young members on the ground. So we need to basically re-establish ourselves and make sure that we become the leading party, because with a wave there will be people and parties coming up, and then very soon people will realize we need to move back to the party that actually can deliver.
Okay, but I have another question, are you confident that public will accept that United National Party entry into the parliament election as a new democratic front, especially with giving the individual who are previously worked with the Rajapaksas?
Okay, so the new democratic front, I have to explain this clearly, is a combination of the United National Party, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, and the Podujana Peramuna, and a few other parties that basically supported Ranil Wickremesinghe in the presidential election. This is the new democratic front, is only a front for the elections.
Okay.
Once we go into parliament, we go back to our party. So next elections, whether it's the municipal elections or the provincial elections, we will run with the elephant and the United National
Separately.
Party. Separately.
So no more
Separately.
any alliance?
No alliances. That is one condition. On that condition only I am also contesting, because I didn't want to contest the national elections after I lost in 2015. But this time I felt, and also there was a need, and people kept saying, there was no one from the United National Party in the Colombo district who has been serving in the Colombo district as a member of the United National Party. I've done a lot of work, so everybody wanted me to contest. And so for that reason, because I want to bring back the party, and also I think it is the need of the hour to basically have some strong, able people with experience to go into parliament. Because when you look at the Malimawa list, some of them are unknown, unheard, they've never been in politics, and we see it even with this.
The new faces.
Not only new faces, we see it with the president, the prime minister, and the only cabinet member, Vijitha Herath. They came unprepared. They were not prepared. They came unprepared. They have no structure. They have no plan. Though they kept, saying on stages that we will make the country rich.
Maybe they surprised to get the power?
It shouldn't have been a surprise because all the indicators are showing that they were doing well. Okay. So they should have at least 3 months to 4 months in advance started strategizing. If we take government, this is what we will do. This would be a step 1, the step 2, the step 3. When I was appointed as High Commissioner to Malaysia, I was no diplomat. But I realized it was a challenging job that I was given, and bestowed upon me. So that responsibility I had to fulfill. So I studied about diplomacy, and then I also realized gone are the days when diplomacy was limited to bilateral arrangements or policies and bilateral affairs, and also territorial integrity, etc., etc. You have to go out of your comfort zone and be the best salesperson for the country. If you want to succeed as a diplomat, you need to step up. You need to have good communications with every strata of that country, whether it's the media, the academia, the public sector, the government, the ministers, the kings, the queens. And that networking enables countries like ours to have so much support. So similarly, they should have known if we get into government. They were saying they were going to win, and when we win, what were they saying? They said
a clear roadmap is there.
They don't have a roadmap. What did they say? They said $42 billion is just in Sinhala. They said it's a khadjak. It's just nothing. We can pay this loan just like that. And Sunil Handunhetti, I remember in a meeting saying that when we come into power, the first $1 million is going to come from Canada. A person just called me. Within 24 hours, we are going to get that $1 million. So for us, people will be flooding, the diaspora will be flooding in with money, and we have no issue in paying this. Now what have they done? They have taken more than 624 billion rupees
in the short time.
In short time. And also, Andrew Kumara kept on saying this in Sinhala. He said, if you want to borrow and if you want to print money and sell state property, what do we need a government for? All we need is 2 money lenders, 3 money lenders. In Sinhala it said, Mudal Achu Gahandai, Naya Gandai, මොකටද ආණ්ඩුවක්? ඕකට මේ පොලි මුදලාලිලා 3 දෙනෙක් හිටියා නම් ඇති. 3 money lenders. So are these 3 money lenders? So they had no idea. Then they kept on saying that when they come in that they are going to destroy the IMF contract, and then they said that they were going to put the secretary to the treasury behind bars. They said they were going to chase Nandalal Veerasinghe. They also said things like, when we come, we will only work on meritocracy. We won't bring friends and families and our best friends into positions. We will not give anyone who gets on our stage to support us, corporation chairmanships and secretaryships and whatever. And they've done exactly what they say. Everything was, his best friends are in position, including the secretary to the president should be somebody from the administrative service, a senior most SLA's officer. But everything they said, they also said things like, the fuel prices. When Ranil Wickremesinghe's government brought it down by 27%, they said, we can bring it down by 70%. 150 rupees goes into the minister's pocket. So, they were basically slandering and character assassinating the then minister, Kanchana Wijayasekara, who was an efficient, young, I think a man who should be in parliament. At least now it's been proven that that's a lie.
Launching that mechanism to special.
So I am saying that was a lie. So they kept lying. They said money was taken in a plane load of money went to Uganda, we're going to bring it in 6 months. Those are very popular things that you tell people, and people get aroused by things like that.
But now Tilwin said that Uganda issue only raised in such a way.
Why did they have to raise it? Say Sajabe or somebody else said it. If they knew that it was not factual, why are they saying it? You can't point your finger after you come in and telling people and getting your votes and saying that within 24 hours they'll lock up Ranil Wickremesinghe, they're going to lock up this one. They should have had about corruption, and that was their main whatever. So up to date, I don't see anyone that has been taken under corruption. So they should have they had so many files. Bring those files now. And now it's been almost 45 days. So not only that, I mean, they said so many things which were diabolical lies, and to just, they were playing with people's emotions. Because they are a party with 3%. The rest, the 42%, the 40% that gave them were people who were angry with the mainstream political parties for what happened in 2022, and they think that these people can do different. I don't think they have the capacity or the capability to, let's hope. I'm at this point, what I see is, I don't see the capacity, I don't see the capability, because every economic question that is being asked from the opposition, how are you going to do this, how are you going to do that, there is no response from the Prime Minister nor from the President. That is sad, because Ranil Wickremesinghe keeps asking, because he sees the danger in what's to come, but we will see in the future. So, but they are not responding. They kept on saying that a rich country and Pohosat Ratak, Lassana Jeevithek, and a happy life, a beautiful life. So my question is, how are you going to make this country rich? You can't just say that, we are going to catch rogues and goons and whatever.
But in the NPP at the moment, you see in the campaigning stages, other press conferences, they called for clean up the parliament with the new faces replacing the old ones for the parliament in the next new parliament also. But you are contesting in the election, the most senior member. What are your thoughts on this?
Because that's all they're saying. I was here listening to the Prime Minister. I'm very proud that a woman is the Prime Minister in this country, and I bless her. I mean, bless her soul. I hope God gives all the strength to understand and think differently, and understand people's aspirations and work towards it. But all she says on platforms is, look at our crowd, we have doctors, lawyers, we work as brotherhood, there is brotherhood here, we work as brothers and sisters, we are a team, we are like one, and that is not good enough. And also saying clean in parliament. In parliament, I would say a good 40% would have been corrupt. But there were also very good, honorable people in parliament who have been in politics and who have done service for the country. So you can't cleaning up parliament and bring these people. 25. Right now we see that the three that are in power has no clue, and they are struggling. Can you imagine? I don't see a single face that we know that has any experience. Just because you are a doctor, you go to parliament, that doesn't mean that you can immediately start making policies, because parliament is a place where you bring laws, policies, and get them passed.
Legislative works.
And also, working on the fiscal, government fiscal policies and managing it. So if you bring people from different walks who have never been in politics, who have never dealt with people on the ground, and don't know their aspirations, their needs and wants and whatever, it's going to be a crazy parliament. You need to have experienced people. When we came out with, when the crisis happened, it was an experienced man, a man with stately wisdom, a man with international connections that were able to stabilize this country. Today we can't sit and talk like this if he didn't, as a single-handed person from my party.
Last 2.5 years.
Yes. We could have been another Bangladesh. We could have ended up being Lebanon. We could have ended up being Greece. We didn't, because it was the man with the most experience, the man who had international connections, a man who knew how to deal with situations. That's experience. You can't say that you clean up parliament. I am asking the people, they know the people who have robbed. They know people who are corrupt. Remove them. But in the process, you bring people with experience, you bring people with knowledge, you bring people who are committed to serving people, because now in the Colombo district, people know what I've done for them. Today, if a pregnant mother is getting 4,500 relief package, the portion of Malla, is because I have given that in 2015. I went to Jaffna, and also with the Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe. Then we started with 2,000, now it's 4,500. For preschool children, I got a World Bank grant to put every child into preschool. Similarly, today there's 25% of women in the local councils. That's because I brought a private member motion asking for 30%. That was thrown out of parliament. But Ranil Wickremesinghe came into power, and because he promised me, and brought 25% of reservation or seats for women. So you need people who understands issues of the people and who are empathetic towards people and who has the connections, the experience and the wisdom to do it. So you can't just fill parliament. I hear Andhra Kumara saying, fill parliament with Mali Mawa.
Yes.
As it is with three people, we see that they are
also
struggling.
a big challenge for the democracy as well. The one single party running.
So there is no democracy. Now you see exactly the trend that they are going in. If they get 2/3 and change the constitution to a communist, left-oriented state, can you imagine exactly what is going to happen here? And on top of that, they are saying that they're going to legalize prostitution. They're going to legalize all kinds of things, which will be such a social menace. That is not we should be doing. No woman in the world would like to violate. I mean, the most precious thing for a woman is her dignity,
yes,
and her pride. And she wants people to accept it. She wants her children to accept it. She wants a husband, a mother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law.
So bonding in the various.
Yes. You know, if a woman is thrown into a profession such as prostitution, that's because she's absolutely desperate. That's because she has no place to go, nowhere to turn. She wants to feed her children. She wants to survive. Just for survival, she would do that. So what should we do? We should help that woman with entrepreneurship skills, leadership skills, self-employment factors and leadership and training and whatever. We need to give them loans without any collaterals, we need to support them with flexible jobs. We need to get the state or the private sector to always allow women to have flexible hours.
Women.
Exactly. We need to give them safe transportation. We need to have creches in every town. Every establishment should have, including every government institution should have a creche where she can bring her, because a lot of them, what happens is our literacy rate when it comes to gender, female, male, is very high. 93%. And if you take the higher education system, majorities, almost 70% are women. But if you take the female labor force, labor participation is not beyond 35%. Simply because once they get married, they have other commitments, they have to look after their elderly parents, or they have their children. So we haven't provided them with that safety net where, they have the freedom to go work and earn their money. So we need to have creches, we need to have, places where they can send their children for. Now in Colombo, the municipality, I understood this concept and I developed, we have 3 or 4 multidisciplinary community centers. In those centers, I have a creche, I have a floor for special need kids, where mothers, if they have special needs, they can come and leave the child who has special needs and she can go to work. So we have the health staff and the technical staff to look after the children, to give them treatment, whatever. We have a little library where children come back from school, they come to the library, there are computers and whatever, they sit, they do their homework, and when the parents finish work and come, they go and... So you need to create those safety areas for a woman to go out there and earn her money with dignity, not to open, not to legalize prostitution. As it is in the city of Colombo, there are in little places, all kinds of shady little places. They should actually, basically enforce the law and make sure that, these are not done, because innocent girls from villages have been promised to become actresses and models and, better opportunities, and they're brought here. And once they've been cornered and, held, I don't know whether they held prisoners or whatever, that we need to look at those areas. And then, they can't go back to their villages, then they get addicted to this. That's not what we should be doing. We should be actually helping the women to, to be self-sufficient financially by helping them with this. But if this is legalized, there'll be in every nook and corner, in every village, brothels, which will be such a social menace in this country, where there won't be any control over it. We are a Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Islam country. None of our religions would approve something like that. And it's not in our culture. So I think we need to think very hard, and you need to have people who would be in parliament, not only to be a voice. You don't have to go to parliament to be a voice, you can stay out and be a voice as well. But your voice to be also heard and your policies to be implemented. And whenever something that is not ethical or not, basically not part of the lifestyles or culture or whatever, we should be able to be there and veto those.
So I want to attach, additionally ask that point. As a former mayor of Colombo Municipal Council, do you have any specific plans, the future development of Colombo City?
I have a lot of plans for the Colombo City.
For an example, just
I will just say one of the biggest victories that I had, I would say, as the mayor. I must say I have been very unfortunate. When I took the mayorship in 2018, we had the 52-day constitutional crisis. Then 2019 April came the Easter bomb, which was a disaster for about 3-4 months. We were dabbling with that because it affected my city. And then came the presidential elections, regime change. And then 2020 was total lockdown and nothing was happening. So my job was keeping people safe in the Colombo City, giving them dry ration, provisions that they wanted. Medicine were taken to people's homes. We did a lot of work. The Colombo, I must say, me and my 119 members, we all band together to save the city. And Colombo was not infected, or Colombo was, thanks to me, my team, and public service, Dr. Vijayamuni, I need to mention them, the PHIs, we did a yeoman job. Then came the vaccination program. That also was very carefully, strategically planned out. Everybody was vaccinated. The first, the second, the third dose was given. Then came the financial crisis. Then we started feeding people again, community kitchens and whatever. And we went into,
it's a back-to-back challenges.
Challenges. So by the time I ended. But one of my biggest victories was we had issues with garbage. Our garbage, where do we take our garbage? Where does it go? And the garbage dumping was such a huge crisis because in 2016, the Meethoramula disaster, where so many lives were lost. So the first thing we did was we worked on the waste to energy project. So today the waste to energy project in Kerala-Lepiti is running. We give 10 megawatts of electricity to the main grid. We have educated the public how to, basically separate the garbage, and now people are very disciplined. So it's not only the waste to energy project that we started with Atkins Spence. I must thank Atkins Spence. It's a public-private partnership.
So what are the features, ideas?
So the waste to energy project, now it's not only taking our garbage, it's taking Dehiwala, Ratmala and Amoro to a Kotte, also it's serving. So this is the first one of a kind waste to energy project. Then the LED lights, because LED lights consume very little electricity. LNG. So LNG is why it takes that fossil fuel generated, which is very bad for the environment. Then we have 200 smart lights so that we can surveil the entire city. That project. We have also, there is relief given to poor families. 13,000 families get relief. I increase the number of families that should get relief. Every year we give children school books according to their grade. We give them school books, we give them the uniforms, because the underserved community is very vast in the Colombo district. The school books, the uniforms, the pair of shoes, the bag, everything is given, so parents don't have to worry about their children. All the dry ration during COVID, during the when we were going through hardship, was given. We give, children who have parents who have special need kids, they get an allowance. I've increased that allowance. Then for the Marna Dara Samitis, they were getting 5,000. I increased it to 10,000. Apart from that, I also digitize a lot of services like the single window counter. The single window counter is where within one day you get certain services like street lining, every service that you need to get your plan passed. That comes under one window, and maximum within 3 days everything is given. Online platform with regards to construction permits, planning, because those days to get a plan passed it takes about 2 years, and you also have to give somebody something to get it passed. Now it's transparent online. I have got $9 million a grant from Korea to automate our tax system, because corruption was always there with the tax, revenue collectors and whatever. We can do payment online now. People just don't have to come and stand in queues and whatever. Payment online. The public So many things, but the most important thing is also that we did the sewer lines. The archaic sewer lines were revamped, and some of the underserved communities didn't have proper sewerage systems, so they were connected to those, and cleaning up Colombo in that sense as well. And all the little underserved areas were, all the members, the 119 members did a lot of work restructuring the community centers, doing carpeting their roads, putting electricity, giving electricity, putting the fences along lakes and things like that. So there's quite a bit of things that we have done, and quite a bit to be done as well. One thing I must say, Colombo city comprises of different communities, and we live in harmony. And 1/3 of our community are Tamil people, my Tamil brothers and sisters. So I had a sister city program with the North, and I must say we went to visit them. I think it was in 2022. We went to visit them on their invitation. We went to visit the Jaffna Municipal Council and Walikamam North, East and South, a couple of councils. And when I went and visited them, we took something, we donated 400 books from our library to the Jaffna library. I realized some of those councils didn't even have a three-wheeler to operate. They don't have compactors, garbage trucks, this, that, and they had so much of needs. So we came back and we invited 96 of them. Okay. The Colombo municipality housed them. We put them up at the Radisson's Hotel. It was 96, I'm just trying to, 95 of them. 95. And then we kept them for 3 days. We had friendly cricket matches, took them all over Colombo. Some of them had never, some of those members from the councils have never stepped into Colombo before. So we had such a huge bonding between Colombo and whatever. And on top of that, I decided on their request, first of all, the Jaffna mayor wanted a survey. Their biggest issue is that they didn't have a proper survey. Data. So they wanted support from there, so we were arranging for our surveys to go and help them and support them. I gave trailer tractors, 2 trailer tractors, 1 tipper from the council we gifted, 1 water bowser, 2 water bowsers, 1 JCB, a crew cab, and another crew cab. This is for Walikamam, I think East, West, anyway. So that's the sister city program that we did. I've always been supporting them because I felt that we need to connect with the people in Colombo and their sisters and brothers in the North, and so I take great pride in doing that.
Okay, I have the question like this. The UNP preferred to crushing defeat in the last parliamentary election, but securing only 1 seat via the national allocation. But this time in the Colombo district, I think 966 contestants are in the parliament list. What's the extent do you think the large numbers candidate will impact your success?
I have to mention this. Of course, the UMP moved away because the vast majority of them went with Sajape, and then everybody voted in to 2020. That was a different scenario. Then in 2022, when the country came to a standstill, and when we were in dire straits, when people were dying on the streets, when we were queuing up, we didn't have electricity, we didn't have gas, we didn't have fuel, we didn't have fertilizer, there were food shortages. Of course, I got into the growing mode and harvesting mode and all that. There wasn't a single person from Sajape, including the leader, Sajith Premadas, who took the challenge. They summoned the central bank governor and the secretary finance ministry, had a 3-hour conversation and decided, we can't touch this. No one can restore this country. Yes. So if that for me, you can't be a politician if you cannot serve your people when they're in trouble. You don't run away. And nor did Andrew Kumara. None of them took up the challenge. That single man, the 30,000 winning that one national list, that man is the one who took the challenge. And he put the country right.
I think former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa offered to Sajith Premadas
3 times or more. Offered Andrew Kumara also, offered Sarath Fonseca. None of them, because they knew that they can't do it. They didn't have the capacity. They didn't have the know-how. They didn't have the experience. But this one man took it. So it proves, and it has been proven, that the United National Party is the strongest party that has done so much for this country. Even to date, our top dollar is earned by the migrant woman worker. The number 2 is from the apparel industry, bringing in the apparel industry, opening the economy. We live in a borderless global village. And we with a flick of a button can interact with the whole world. The whole world has evolved into a knowledge economy, but where are we? So we need leaders like Ranil Wickremesinghe. He was able to put this country right. And even then, because people were so angry at what they had to go through, that they went and voted for the Malimawa, thinking that they were going to catch rogues, and because of people's robbing, that yes, partly it's because of robbing and waste and whatever, but mostly because of Gotabaya not having any experience, and every decision he took was wrong. And then he also took some decisions to help the rich to become richer and whatever, taking off taxes from various things. So this is why we made that. So now people understand that the United National Party is a party that can put the country right. So the United National Party is coming differently this time. And I'm very positively, I believe that I'm going to go into Parliament. A lot of us are going to go into Parliament, and the United National Party will be revamped and restructured, and will come back strongly, because when this country goes down, we will be there to restore it again.
Then what is the role does expect in the New Democratic Front? Or
the New Democratic Front is only for this election.
Okay, but the upcoming Parliament election, do you have any intention become a ruling party or main opposition?
I think if we both get together, Sajabaya and us, we can. So let's see. Now we'll see how many numbers we'll take and how many numbers they will take, and then maybe we can form government.
Do you imagine that Sajid?
My first thought right at this point is get through the 14th of November, winning this election and getting into Parliament, to get in as many United National Party members. And because we tried before we gave nominations, our leader tried to speak to Sajid Premadasa and to come together. I intervened as well. I was also part of that group that was intervening and trying to talk to see whether we can come together so that we can form government. But those talks failed, so it was so unfortunate.
What's the reason for the
various conditions and whatever, and some conditions were not acceptable.
Demanding from Sajebe or yourself?
I think Sajebe was demanding for the leader of the United National Party to step down and give it to the deputy leader Ruwan Wijewardena. But we as a party, we can't be sitting and asking or listening to another party leader dictating terms to us and telling whom should we appoint as our leader, who should not. So we said yes, he can be senior leader, but let's work. So there were so many. The talks went on for about almost 10 days to the last minute, and then it failed.
I have two quick questions. Yes. Former President Ranil Wickremesinghe has swiftly returned the Parliament election activities quickly. I think in a very short time he's back to in the campaign stages.
I'll tell you why.
Do you think the opportunity to back the lead country or in the future?
I'll tell you why, because he's seen that the way the country is going right now, because of the borrowings and what is happening, the IMF is not coming on time, the fuel, the coconut prices, the rice prices, the rice mafia, the government can't control half these things. So when he's seeing what is happening, he's questioning. So he's on the platform questioning that. So, and asking, I would, if I was the president, I would be honestly getting Ranil Wickremesinghe to be an advisor. If I was the president.
In the current government.
Yeah. They should, because there's no, my theory always was, I came into politics to serve people, not to have animosity or anger. I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian. I don't like, it is my ideology, my party's ideology, may differ with somebody else's ideology. That doesn't mean that I should have animosity or anger towards that party or that person. So for me, I feel that, we need to have political convergence, not divergence. Especially at a time like this, when our country is just coming out from, we were a country that was written off, we were a country that, was suffering for almost a year and a half. We are still suffering. So we need to get together. We should, eat up our pride and stand together and say, okay, we need everyone. We need Ranil Wickremesinghe, we need Sajid Premadasa, we need Mr. Sumandiran, we need every conceivable leader that has the experience and who can do it. And we need everyone. and Anukumara Disanayake, because I wish them all the best. My policy is once the people, the majority of the people, because I admire democracy and I respect democracy. Once people have elected a party or a person, I will go with the flow and give that person at least 2 years to 3 years to prove themselves. They are new, they have never been, of course, Anukumara and them have been in government. They are very experienced. The Prime Minister is not, but they are. They know, they have brought in presidents, and they are partly to be blamed for the 76 years they are talking about, a curse of 76 years. The JVP is fully part of the 76 years of what they are talking about. 88, 89, I don't have to remind them. 2004, how they came into Chandrika's government, they took ministries and portfolios. 2005, they are the ones who brought Mahinda Rajapaksa, and when there was his help in Hambantota, when we were basically finding fault with Mahinda Rajapaksa for that fraud, they said, oh, that's a small fraud. The JVP said that, and then they brought him into power. So they have brought these people, and then they are saying they are corrupt. Then in 2015, we came into power, brought the Anti-Corruption Commission, told Anukumara to take it and bring all the people, the perpetrators to task. That was not done. Today, I'm especially going into Parliament to basically serve the people. At the same time, the anti-corruption bill that Ranil Wickremesinghe brought, that was drafted with the help of the IMF. Because the IMF's one condition is eradicate corruption. So with the laws we had, I'm not a lawyer, but I can say, didn't have the provision to actually act on some of those things, because when the Anti-Corruption Commission was formed in 2015, I was listening to Chandrika Bandanaka Kumarathunga, Ranil Wickremesinghe and Honorable Maithripala Sirisena on a panel talk, where Chandrika Bandanaka Kumarathunga madam was saying that we found money into that, but we couldn't bring it in because the laws were so weak. We didn't have the original copies. So this anti-corruption bill will permit them. So the government, so I'm asking Anukumara Disanayake, if you are sincere, get the money that you think is out. You can. That anti-corruption bill is one of a kind, and one of the best apparently that South Asia has. But we have brought into Parliament, so let's enact that.
Yes. Now my final question, you are passionate advocating that increasing women representation in the Parliament, in the other administrative bodies. But what do you think the chances to that happen in the upcoming Parliament?
I am asking.
Just predict.
Yes, I'm just. I can't predict.
Okay.
But I know that I will go in because Colombo loves me. 52% of the population are women. 56% of the voters are women. I'm asking every woman to vote for a woman, no matter which party you vote for. I want the 2 members of our party to go into Parliament. I want Sajabe has 1 or 2 in Colombo. Malimawa has 5. If a woman votes for a woman, we will have at least 30% of women in Parliament. So women should vote for women. Women should ban for women, because women understand the needs of a woman. And she's more empathetic, she's more courageous, her tolerance level is very high. She is capable. You see it in the villages. You see how mothers basically struggles and try to raise kids and bring them to. So the woman has the capacity to go out there and serve her people, her community, and it has been proven in India. In the panchayat system, Rajiv Gandhi brought the 33% quota, and a lot of the men had to stay back and give some of those ladies were illiterate, they were not even literate people, went out there, but then they worked so strong because they understood the needs of their community. Today there is more than 50% in some of the councils. Yes. That is how strong a woman can be. So give them the chance, and I'm asking you to give the chance to a woman.
Okay, thank you. I would like to conclude the program by thanking again for your time, and I hope I have an opportunity to meet again as a future possible to as a parliamentarian. Then thank you very much. நாங்கள் இவ்வளவு நேரமும் புதிய ஜனநாயக முன்னணியினுடைய கொழும்பு மாவட்ட வேட்பாளர், அதேபோல் முன்னாள் கொழும்பு மாநகர சபையினுடைய மேயர் ரோசி சேனநாயக் அவர்களுடன் கலந்துரையாடி இருந்தோம். மற்றொரு நிகழ்ச்சியின் வாயிலாக உங்களை சந்திக்கும் வரையில் வணக்கம்.